Welcome to day 54. We are in Leviticus chapters 20 through 22. So let's get at all the wonderful things today. I've got 6 points to be made today. So mostly what these 3 chapters are about are the punishments that we read about, the things that God doesn't want you to do. And I really want to point out something about Leviticus. Leviticus always gets a bad rap saying, oh, it's the book of the law, and it's so boring to read. Here's the thing. It really does show God's love for us. If you're a parent, you'll understand this. If you're going to be a parent or someday, then listen up. This is a parent's love for their children. The last few chapters was about, hey, don't do these things. Here's the 10 Commandments. Oh, by the way, let's expand on the 10 Commandments. Here's the things I don't want you to do. By the way, I'm going to expand on that. Not only don't want you out late, but really, you shouldn't be out at 3:30 in the morning. Bad things happen. Evil things happen in darkness. It's not saying, hey, the sun went down, you have to be in the house. That's not what that means. It's God's love is saying, hey, it's just not good to be out late at night. Bad things happen. People drive around in cars without the lights on. They check if your car doors are open. They're trying to check your garage doors to see if they can get in, see if there's anything to steal. Bad things happen in darkness. It's not a steadfast rule that he's saying the sun went down, so be in here. It's just saying, hey, I've got these wonderful things, piece of advice for you. Don't do these things. And then I also have these things, definitely don't do these things. And then today we're talking about, if you do these things, here are the punishments. So to make sure that you understand how horrible some of these things are. So it is a wonderful view of God's love for us. So one of the things, again, there's a few things in my list that I keep adding to, and it's not about the list. Later on, when we get near the end of the Bible, we'll be able to look at these lists, and then they're going to be worth something to you. Right now, they're just a list. So the first thing is more about the mediums. Again, it's just reiterating what we said in the last few chapters, but with punishment. Leviticus 20, verse 6, I will also turn against those who commit spiritual prostitution by putting their trust in mediums or in those who consult the spirits of the dead. I will cut them off from the community. Okay, so that's what happens to those people. He doesn't say that these people don't exist. He doesn't say that it's not possible. He says, if you consult with these people, we're going to cut you off from the community and those people as well. In verse 27 as well, men and women among you who act as mediums or who consult the spirits of the dead must be put to death by stoning. They are guilty of a capital offense. So again, he's not saying they don't exist. He says this is what's going to happen to these people. All right? It's a bad idea. Now we talk about sex. I've got a list for sex, and we talked about that last time. Leviticus 20, verses 10 through 21. All the things. Don't do this, don't do this. Don't have sex with an animal. Don't have sex with your sister. Don't have sex with your aunt. Blah, 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 blah. Don't have sex with a man and a man. The same sex. That's what that is talking about. But in here, it's saying this is what's going to happen if you do. Extremely important that we understand why it's being repeated. The next thing, we are set apart. We're special. Okay, it's just like the earth. Earth is special. We have been set apart. Leviticus 20, 24 and 26. So 24 says, but I have promised you, you will possess their land because I will give it to you as your possession. Okay, we've already heard that. A land flowing with milk and honey. We've already heard that. I am the Lord your God who has set you apart from all other people. He knew Abraham was going to go ahead and kill Isaac if he allowed it to happen. He knew Abraham's heart. Okay, he knew this was going to happen. We are the people that have been set apart. Verse 26, you must be holy because I, the Lord, am holy. I have set you apart from all other people to be my very own. You could make a whole list about how God has said he has set us apart. He is so loving to us that he wants us to understand, I have set you apart. You are special to me. That should make you feel good. Next thing, no defects. We talked about this many times. Chapter 22, 19 and 21. Verse 19, you will be accepted only if your offering is a male animal with no defects. Okay, 21. Again, you must offer a perfect animal. It may have no defect of any kind. One was for the burnt offering, the other one was for the peace offering, depending on what offering it was. But the whole point is that it doesn't have any defects. Christ was our offering. He has no defects. He was perfect. He was the perfect lamb going for to make atonement for our sins once and for all. So no defects. His bones weren't broken. Next thing, availability to all, not just the Israelites. So atonement for not just the Israelites. God didn't want just the Israelites. The people set apart are the people who follow God. Their hearts are for God. Chapter 22, verse 18. Give Aaron and his sons and all the Israelites these instructions, which apply both to native Israelites and to the foreigners living among you. That's not the only place it says this. Okay, so important to understand that a lot of people say, well, the Old Testament, that's just for the Jews. That's just for the Hebrews. Well, no, it's not. It's not. It's for the people who are chasing after God. And this is part of the proof of understanding that. Then the last thing on my list is the number 7 again. Leviticus 22, verse 27. I'll just read this to you. When a calf or lamb or goat is born, when it is born, it must be left with its mother for 7 days. And goes on from there. So this is another example of the number 7 and what is important by it. One last thing I was thinking of, people could say, oh, well, the earth was made in 6 days. God only rested on the 7th. That's a package. Okay, 7 days. It took 7 days and he rested on the 7th day. That's a package deal. Again, the lists aren't lists just to kind of prove a point or anything. Is to take a look at something and say, wow, there was something special about this. Whether it's the books that are listed in the Bible, the book of life, whatever, the book of instruction, the book of the covenant, and other books that are in the book of the Kings. It's just neat to look at your list and say, oh, wow, there were quite a few of these things. That's something special. Keep that in mind. Remember, it's a conversation. It's not just a list of things to do. All right? That's your day 54. Almost lost track. I'll see you tomorrow.